Hello, my friends. Welcome to something very special that we've been working on for quite a long time. This is Wings of Liberty Nightmare Difficulty. Nightmare Difficulty is a mod that I designed about half of a year ago that intends to take what is the natural progression of casual, normal, hard, and brutal and add a difficulty above it, or I guess in this case below it, that is harder than brutal. However, follows the same design ideas and all that kind of stuff of Wings of Liberty. It is a difficulty mode that is fair, but really hard, instead of like the, oh well, I'm just gonna shoot your hero with a Yamato and then you die. It's, it's not cheesing you with 50 units at the 2-minute mark. Instead, it is that same progressive ramping up of difficulty that the campaign is designed and loved for, but taken to that next level. Let's begin.
Adjutant.
Obviously, we can skip all this stuff. Yeah, so it's going to say brutal at the bottom all the time. That is because I don't know how to change that. I don't think we can. We will see. If there's an ability to change it, that would be really cool. I'm not sure what going on casual, normal, or hard does, but I know that it works if you pick brutal, then you get to be on Nightmare Difficulty. So, let's talk a little bit about what my design decisions were for this. It's been a really long time. I have the design doc now. When I was streaming this, I wasn't able to actually look at my design decisions, what I did and why, but now I can actually look at it in between episodes and talk about the various ideas that I had. However, there are 4 main goals that I had with the design of this difficulty. First, obviously, is to have a harder difficulty. That is good. Second is to make the things that were overpowered balanced, such as orbital drop, where you can just drop infantry everywhere. That is super easy to break the game with. There are things like Marines. Marines are ridiculous. Mules are ridiculous. The enemy uses their abilities, by the way. They will blink, they will stim, they will do all that kind of stuff because they are smarter. They will try to retreat when they're low on numbers sometimes. All that kind of stuff. 2 is, now that the overpowered stuff is buffed, or the overpowered stuff is nerfed, and the difficulty is increased, the things that are bad are slightly increased in quality in order to make them competitive. So instead of being stuck with bad stuff and bad stuff, you are stuck with solid stuff and or average stuff and average stuff. Also, the bonus objectives are given a slightly increased amount of value. So like in this one, you're going to get 2 Marines per. However, you're going to also need 2 Marines per because the enemy knows how to stim. And that drastically increases their quality. So we have increased difficulty, overpowered stuff nerfed, underpowered stuff buffed, and then finally, making more dynamic gameplay. One of the things about Wings of Liberty is once you know how the things work, they always work that way at exactly that time, and I don't think that that is great for replay value. So things like attack timings are slightly mixed up. It's not going to be random. It's not just like, oh, you're going to get attacked by a bunch of random stuff and then you reload and it's not the same. But the times that the attacks are not set in stone. Instead, they have a dynamic range to them. So sometimes that attack will come a little bit early. Sometimes it'll come actually later than normal. But that might mean that the next attack comes a little bit early, and then, oh, you're in a bit of a pickle there, huh? You have to be, or rather, maybe you wanted to go out, but now you have to defend a little bit longer. Even though you're going to clean that up with lots of losses, you have to be prepared to both defend and attack. You can't just memorize when everything is, and then leave your base completely undefended. So those are the basic ideas behind what we're doing and why. I am really excited to play through this. I have streamed it already, and it was great. There are so many different changes that I can just do a completely different playthrough, and that's awesome. I'm already very damaged by the enemies. You can see that there's some extra stuff, like there's a fire bat right there that just adds a little bit of extra pain in tanking. We're going to have to keep these guys in the back. Oh, and then another thing, I guess there was a 5th tenant that I wanted to add, and that is, in order to be successful, you can't just turtle until max. You're probably not going to see me max out very often in this, because the pressures will be so high that you either have to go before you're maxed, or you'll run out of money before you're maxed. It's not that sort of thing. Okay. Second, I need to focus a little bit here. Oh, we got really lucky here. Look, the firebat got stuck behind everything else. Oh, that was really fortunate. All right, we're going to make it to the end of this mission with no problem, but unfortunately, the Viking is not quite a Viking anymore. He's just a little bit better. As I said, the difficulty is increased a little bit. Obviously, this is a no-build mission, so it's not going to be impossibly hard, but we do get a little more pain. If I had lost stuff in the early stages, I might have gotten vaporized there. However, this is the sort of difficulty that I actually mean. You don't get ganked by a random battlecruiser. It has the warp in animation. You're given time to prepare. It is a very difficult it's a more difficult challenge than brutal. You have to be able to defeat it by having not lost your things, don't hemorrhage your troops. But it's not just like a random sucker punch. And that is the way that I like difficulty. So we're moving on to the Outlaws. We're going to do a double feature here, obviously, because the first two missions are always very short. And we'll probably see that the attack timings are a little bit more randomized than normal. First of all, we're going to poke up and grab some of this moolah. And then we're going to pull on back and be prepared. So as we go through it, I will talk about various things that are more and more interesting. However, there's not a whole lot that we can talk about at the very beginning stages, simply because you can't make a mission that nerfs the power of Marines and medics without making this mission like impossible. A lot of the time, actually, the Marines and medics are nerfed more off of the fact that they're not as good anymore because the difficulty is higher. There's more splash damage and stuff like that, more so than anything else. There also will be a lack of a particular lunar-based excavator that makes Marines a little bit overpowered, so that changes things up in an interesting way, but it'll be a while until we get there, so we're just going to move on as is. As you can see, 147 the attack hit. Normally, I believe that attack hits exactly the 2-minute mark. StarCraft 2 has a system in its triggers that bases attack timings on when they arrive at the base instead of when they go out. That means that very often it is intervals of 30 seconds that you have to pay attention to. But this was about 15 seconds earlier than normal, and I didn't have as much time to prepare as I normally would. However, because I pre-set up, I had a good defensive position anyway, forced them into that choke a little bit, I was able to take them down without issue. I did lose a unit though, which is more so than I normally would. And yes, I am going to be talking this mod up a lot because I really, really think it's awesome and fun. And, oh, of course, I should mention, how did this mod get made? This was one of the projects that was brought to us by Twitch Trolls Grant, where you guys donated money in order to troll me in that amazing, amazing experience. And this is one of the things that funded it. Additionally, the Heart of the Swarm randomizer, which is going to be the next project that ends up on the archives, is another thing that was funded by that money. And I really I appreciate the fact that you guys were willing to be so incredibly awesome and generous during it. Because all this stuff is, once we get the mod launcher ready and going, which is going to be maybe a couple weeks from now, we will be giving all this out to everybody, and you'll be able to play Nightmare Edition, you'll be able to play Minehawk's Challenge Gauntlet, you'll be able to play Randomizer, you'll be able to play Real Scale. Did I say Heart of the Swarm Randomizer earlier? I meant Real Scale. I keep saying Randomizer when I don't mean it. I don't know why. I think it's because they both start with R, and I'm just a very dumb person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the next enemy attack wave, and then I'm going to poke out and see exactly what is going on. See if I can make it to the rebel camp, that sort of thing. I think it'll be okay. The rebel camp is always a nice place to grab because they have mineral pickups, gas pickups, an extra barracks, and a high ground. All these are useful. Until then, I'm just getting a nice defensive setup. All right. As you can see, just a little bit more defenses than normal. They wouldn't have a bunker of death up there most of the time. And it's going to be a lot of things like that. If you're not actually super familiar with Wings of Liberty, it can be very difficult to see where all these new things are. But as you play it too much, you definitely go like, huh, that's not supposed to be there.
Need some triage?
This better be good.
I'm like really itching to move out onto the map at this point, and the enemy is just not giving me that opportunity.
You want a piece of me, boy?
I don't know if this base can die. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think that it's got extra pressure on it. Just looking that attack wave, I don't think it was extra guys, so it's probably okay. But there's some other stuff that I want to talk about that I can't do yet. Here we go. Enemy attack wave incoming. They got some fire bats and Stimberine. Whoa! Going right after that medic, huh? They wanted her bad. Okay, that medic is trying to retreat back home. Let's see if we can stop her when she rounds the bend. Oh, got her. Nice. Okay. Let's get that tempo going. And as you can... Oh, we walked right into the fire bats. That's not good. As you can see, the enemy also has a propensity to just build structures around the map, and it is going to be an eternal thorn in our side. It's just the constant. They love proxying everywhere, and then they will build out of those structures, and they'll send the units. And it can be a grunt. Look at how many barracks they have. I think it's more exemplified on this mission specifically because it's a straight line to the base, but yeah, each one of these produces like a normal structure in addition to what the AI normally does. Oh, look, this was an attack timing. This was another one of those circumstances where the attack was delayed a little bit, and then the next attack was really fast, and that means we have a 1-2 punch to deal with. Ouch. Let's take some of these SCVs down. Take down these proxy racks so they can stop producing. Ooh. I'm a little bit concerned for my medic count. Let's see how we're doing. Continue taking down these SCVs. Great. We got it. Let's try to move forward. I'm not sure I can engage that bunker cleanly right now. I've lost so many troops. Let's cancel production here, get another tech lab, and we're actually getting very, very shy on money at this point. Usually this mission, I believe, has like 30 minutes worth of minerals. However, yeah, we only have a couple hundred left on each one of these. So we have to get a move on. So if normally I would actually get another racks here in order to help spend that money. But when I'm sitting at such a resource-starved position, I think it would be better to just run out, because I think I'm gonna run out and then still have a little bit more money momentum. Okay, we've taken these down. The guys come out of the cave just like normal. And then we pop on over here, take down these racks. And then we want to grab the rebel outpost, and that's going to get us one more. Oh, we should have kept that burning so we could have killed some more SCVs. They, of course, will rebuild the SCVs, but value is value, right? Bring these bad boys down. Couple medics.
Just tell us where you want us. Welcome aboard, boys.
So,
Dominion can go to hell. Rainer's the man.
It's
Okay.
Raiders, boys. Bad guys are that away.
they just keep talking.
Go get them.
Do they always talk that much on this mission? I don't remember them talking that much on this mission, but maybe. Okay. So, oh, gas geyser is dry now. Interesting. So I only have enough for 6 more medics. And I have them all queued. Do I just want to start depleting these mineral fields before I go and pull the boys? I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty afraid. We're going to at least push a little bit more forward. Kill the Hellions. Try to split these guys out. And then kill some of those SCVs. Now we're going to dive this. And this is the little stuff that I love. Just, oh hey, another group of Hellions. Oh hey, there's some SCVs that are pre-chilling at the bunker to make it a little bit more difficult. Oh my goodness. A lot of fire, boys.
Nice job cleaning out that bunker, Jimmy. Between your boys and my skills.
Let's see if we can keep this pain train going. Ooh, barely save that medic. Save her. Now they have 4 medics. I'm going to try to get on top of them. The Hellions keep coming out. We're going to have to heal up for a sec. And then we're going to try moving over to get these barracks. The infantry production really needs to be controlled. Oh my goodness. So we're going to pop up here. Then we're going to take down this barracks as well. Because there is one more thing that I think is really cool. Oh, what I was going to say is that I put the ideas onto paper, but Rhyme is the one that he really nailed the execution. He spent months on this. I think 4 or 5 months making this campaign, and it really shows the attention to detail, such as this. Like, this tank. It's kind of silly, but just this little extra bit of potential, positioning makes it harder to engage. And if I hadn't gone up here and cleaned this and just charged right in, there could have been a bio ball over here. It would have been in a really hard to hit position, and it would have been rough. And despite having played this mission before, I was a little bit caught off guard by that second attack still. It added that dynamic nature. I still ran out of minerals on the map, but it was doable. And that is basically what we're looking at for Nightmare Edition. Of course, this is just mission 2. It is going to get way, way, way harder. But we will have to see that next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series as much as I am going to. There are a lot of new and unique things to change. Laboratory researches that are different. Many armory upgrades that are completely changed to be not garbage or to get rid of some of the overpowered stuff. But also just kind of reinvent the units in different ways. I'm going to try to showcase as much of that as I can. But until then, I hope you had a wonderful time, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace!